Hey, everybody. Welcome to 13 Now, your own personalized YouTube newscast brought to you by the fine fellas and ladies over at News Channel 13. I'm your friendly neighborhood anchor, Steve Cooge, joined by the masterful weather guru, meteorologist Wanique Martinez. Wanique, thank you for being here. We've got some crazy hot weather. I mean, it was nuts today. I think I was telling my friends this earlier. I had a cup of crayons from my kids in my car. I told you this earlier in our web meeting. And they all melted just from the heat inside my car. It was brutal. I didn't think I know crayons are obviously they're made of wax, but I didn't think they would melt at the temperatures that my car was getting to. Yeah, that was something else. Anyway, so we'll talk about the crayon melting weather as well as what else is in store for people. In the meantime, before we get to that, we got to talk the big stories we got here today, here in the capital region in upstate New York. First one here, Rensselaer County. We got a Rensselaer County official who has just been fired. And not just that, he's actually behind bars tonight. Listen to what he did. This man right here, Kevin Miller Jr., he's accused of threatening a judge who sentenced his son's killer. A lot to this story. Kevin Miller Jr. accused of threatening the judge who sentenced his son's killer. According to court documents we obtained here at News Channel 13, on Monday, while attending the sentencing for his son's killer, Miller told County Court Judge Jennifer Sober to, quote, watch her six. Military slang, you probably know what that means. Yeah, watch your back. Not a smart thing to tell a judge, but obviously emotions are running high when the killer, someone who killed a special person in your life, is on being sentenced right there. The document also reveals the judge says that Miller acted in a chaotic manner and had to be removed from the courtroom by state court officers. Miller is now charged with making a terroristic threat, harassment, and criminal contempt. Meanwhile, state police say they found guns, illegal guns that he was not supposed to have inside his Pittstown home. It's against the law in New York to have certain firearms, and I guess he had those. So there is now a restraining order that has been in place to protect the judge and the judge's family. In the meantime, Miller was fired from his job with Rensselaer County's Veterans Services Agency. He's in jail tonight without bail, due back in court next week. Obviously, a lot of emotion and drama with that story. You wonder what the judge said or how the judge might have ruled there against the alleged killer of this man's son to get him in that mood and make him say that. Watch your back, watch your six. All right, more to that one. Stay with us as we continue to follow that story. In the meantime, another story we're talking about up in Lake George. This is a story you first saw here on News Channel 13. The Lake George Association is now asking for New York Governor Kathy Hochul to step in and put out a proposal to stop chemicals that the state and city are doing to help the lake manage the spread of a very invasive plant. We're talking about milfoil. If you've ever gone swimming, these are those kind of like seaweed-like stuff in the lake that you really don't want to end up having to touch or getting on your body. It's nasty stuff. The New York State Lake George Park Commission is seeking permission from the Adirondack Park Agency to apply a chemical called Porcella-Cor. This is to tackle the milfoil issue. However, there is a study being done by the Minnesota Department of Agriculture that says this chemical, Porcella-Cor, actually contains some carcinogens, some really bad stuff that you would not want to ingest in your body. So obviously you don't want that in the lake if you're going to be swimming in that, if you and your kids are going to be in there, getting that water in your mouth. The chemical is known for making people sick in Hoosick Falls and other communities around the state. So, got a problem here. The state's Department Environmental Commission is now reaching out to the Federal Environmental Protection Agency to see if the chemical can be approved. But the Lake George Association is asking Governor Hochul instead to step in, hold off on using this chemical to tackle the milfoil issue, at least until we can learn more. See, there's that stuff. I don't know if any of you have ever gone water skiing before, but I did quite a bit of water skiing when I was living in Minnesota, growing up there with my family. And I don't care how old you are. I'd be behind the boat skiing through some of these lakes, and I would see like these little patches of milfoil underneath my skis or my wakeboard, and I would say to myself, no, I do not want to wipe out and fall into the water there and have to touch that gross stuff. I think it's a weird sensation and feeling that as human beings, I think we're always grossed out by stuff touching us or brushing up against our legs when we're swimming in a pool and we don't know what's under there, what we can see. And on top of that, people have drowned before getting caught and entangled in seaweed and milfoil like that. So that's where they're trying to tackle it. A happy story that we'd love to tell you about. Right now, we are in the middle of a very hot week. What would help with that? Splash pads, of course. And we just had the very first splash pads opening up here in Albany for the first time this year. We hit 90 degrees outside, so splash pads definitely helping to fight back against some of that heat for us. The very first splash pad opened up here in Lincoln Park. That's where the video you're seeing here is from. The pads opened up at 2 o'clock this afternoon. So if you want to go to one of these many splash pads in the city, you can cool off there 7 days a week. They're open from 10 in the morning until 6 in the evening. The city even says it will soon announce opening dates for the pads at different parks in Swinburne, Crank, and Hackett parks. They'll make those announcements over the next few days. Currently, maintenance is being done at those spots. I live up in Saratoga Springs, Monique, and we have this splash pad. There's a button on like a little shed off in the distance at the park. The kids have to run up and push the button, and it triggers the water to just start shooting out of the ground. What I love about it is there aren't any like water features around the splash pad. It's just like a big concrete pad with little like holes in the ground. And if you don't know what they're for, the kids might like catch you off guard and run up and like hit the splash pad trigger button. And so people are like walking by, like, you know, with food to pick at the park, and all of a sudden they're just surrounded by these walls of water flying everywhere at them. It's funny and also terrifying if you've ever been caught off guard by that. So you are going to be taking a look quick at this weather that we're having. Am I seeing this right? So we hit 89 today in Albany. Is that right?
Yeah, not quite 90, just 1 degree shy. You know, most of us saw 80-degree warmth or upper 80-degree warmth. We did have a few 90-degree readings, but in Albany, 89 is that official high that we hit today.
Ooh, the record, 97 degrees. So we're getting up there. It was really hot and uncomfortable outside. How many more hot days do we got in store for us?
So today was the last hot day near 90. We do have, you know, above average temperatures in terms of that normal high temperature for this time of year for the rest of the week, but nowhere near what we saw today. But it was hot today, hitting 89 in Albany, well above that normal high temperature of 73 degrees. And live outside in Albany right now, temperatures are still in the 80s. So right now, let me actually roll across and hit this for us.
Let me just give a play-by-play of what Monique's doing. We're actually having some technical difficulties across our station tonight. So you would have like a clicker, right?
Right.
That you could just to shuffle through these things. Instead, you got to swing your chair over there. You did it quite gracefully, though. Thank you. All right. Sorry. Enough of me. Continue.
No worries. Thank you for teeing me up. And right now, I think it's working. Let's see. It's not. So right now in Albany, it's still 82 degrees. So you can see that it's still summer-like out there, well above that normal high temperature of 73 degrees. And tomorrow we'll see temperatures more seasonable, near 80, but we'll still see those warm temperatures. So just 1 second. Sorry about this.
You know, we make the magic of television appear so easy and natural until we've got glitches and problems in our system. So this is our live Doppler, News Channel 13, your first warning weathercast. You can see some clouds moving on into our area
Rachel
here.
Has agreed to run it for me. So let's try this.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you, Rachel. Okay. So now we're looking at our first warning live Doppler radar. We're not really tracking any severe storms tonight because the bulk of that heavy rain is off to our west and it's actually weakening as we go throughout the area. So if we go to the next graphic, you can see that throughout our area, we don't really have much rain at the moment, but it is still warm with temperatures in the 80s, 85 in Albany, 82 in Schaghticoke, 80 in Boston Spa, 79 in Kinderhook. But we'll still have that chance of showers as we go throughout the overnight hours tonight. Still staying very warm with temperatures still in the 70s as we go throughout the overnight hours, dropping down into the 60s. Notice we do have that thunderstorm icon as we start the day tomorrow. Temperatures will be mild, still in the 60s as you start the day, with with that chance of showers and storms throughout the afternoon. Tomorrow, high temperatures will still be in the 80s, but much cooler in the lower 80s. Let's take you hour by hour. We'll see that rain start to work into the area as we go throughout the next few hours, but notice it starts to weaken as we go throughout the overnight hours and tomorrow morning. We'll still have a few spotty showers tomorrow morning and as we go throughout the course of the afternoon. Now, as we head throughout the afternoon, we'll actually have a lull in that rain, but still the chance of a few stray showers. By the evening, we'll see drier air start to filter in behind a cold front that will work in. So we'll trend drier throughout the night on Thursday, and we look absolutely beautiful, mostly sunny with dry weather completely on Friday. So not a bad start to the holiday weekend. We will still see the chance of spotty showers for the weekend on Saturday, but not a washout by any means. Tonight, overnight lows drop down into the upper 60s. We'll see partly cloudy skies, and it will still be slightly humid out tonight. And then tomorrow, high temperatures will be slightly cooler, still in the 80s and the lower 80s, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers and storms. Here's a look at the 7-day planner, staying dry on Friday with temperatures in the lower 80s. By Saturday, we do have a chance of scattered showers and storms. Then we trend drier on Sunday. We are tracking the potential for showers and storms on Memorial Day as well. And unfortunately, we actually look pretty unsettled as we start next week.
Yesterday, what was it? So yesterday was Tuesday. Okay, so Monday, we had 30% chance of storms on Memorial Day. Yesterday, we bumped it up to 40%. Now we're 50%. It's looking like if you're going to get out on the weekend for the Memorial Day, your plans, if you're going to hit go on a lake, maybe go on the Hudson River, anywhere you're thinking of going to stay outdoors, your best bet, Sunday.
Sunday.
That's the day. Awesome. Monique, can't thank you enough for joining us here on 13 Now. Always a pleasure. And you at home watching this, hopefully it wasn't too chaotic. I know we have lots of glitches that we're trying to work through here. Hey, you should watch us coming up here on News Channel 13 on My 4 at 9 o'clock. We'll see if we got those glitches fixed. Could be more fun. Who knows? We'll also be back on tonight at 11 o'clock on NBC 13. Hopefully, we'll see you all there. And of course, as I always say, if we don't see you, make it a great night.